So we're only a few hours away from the next Nintendo Direct, and as is tradition, I've done a quick bingo card. I'm going to run through it quickly now before the Direct actually starts. I've left it way too late to record this, so it's literally going to be a quick skim through because I forgot to do it last night, so I rushed it and got through it. Okay, so first row we've got Bayonetta 3 because surely now we've got to see something. I know the developers said they have a trailer ready and I'm just waiting for Nintendo to give it the go ahead. So yeah, I think that's likely. Next up we have a new Donkey Kong game. This is going to happen. I know the Odyssey team have been put on making a new Donkey Kong game, so like Bayonetta 3, I think this is inevitable. It's just a case of when and not if. Next up we've got a 3D Kirby game, which just like Donkey Kong, it's definitely going to happen soon. Not really much more to say about this. We haven't had a Kirby game for a while. And I think it's time they make a step into 3D games as opposed to just a side-scroller. Next up we've got a Xenoblade Chronicles export. I'm not very confident of this because of one of my later guesses, but it'd be cool. It deserves to be ported to Switch. It's one of the last Wii U games that needs a port, so hopefully it gets done soon. Don't think it'll be tonight though. And then last up on the first row we have Mario Kart 9. I'm not confident, I don't think we'll get this today, but you got to put it in the card, you know, everyone has it in their card. Mario Kart 8's getting quite stale and we really need a new one, so hopefully we get Mario Kart 9 sooner rather than later. And on to the second row we go. First up we have an Xbox appearance. This could be Game Pass, it could be a port like Rare Replay. I don't know, but basically this means any Xbox inclusion in the Direct, and that's a tick on that box. Next up we have a Zelda port. Again, it's Wii U games that need porting. I'm looking at you, Wind Waker. And again, there's always a chance of Twilight Princess coming to Switch as well. So, you know, I just thought Zelda's 35th anniversary was absolute rubbish. They can redeem it with a few good ports, and I think there's a chance. You know, I think they might actually consider doing it. Next up we have N64 Virtual Console. Now, Nintendo recently launched a patent for a new controller, which it's all but confirmed to be Nintendo 64 controller. So yeah, I mean the controller comes out soon. The patent was for tomorrow, I think. So yeah, I mean if that is to be believed, which I'm 99% sure it is, 64 Virtual Console's basically locked in at this point. Next up we have Smash DLC. This is the one I'm most confident about. If we didn't get a Smash DLC tonight, I would be shocked. I've used Cinderace as the picture because that's who I personally want and personally think has a chance. Obviously there's other characters like Dr. Eggman, Waluigi, Master Chief, etc, etc. But I kind of want Cinderace. I think Gen 8 stage and Gen 8 music and just in general the football themed moveset would be brilliant, and I really hope this happens. And then last up we have Deltarune. This was one of my, I don't know what to put here, let's put a random game. It might come to Switch, I don't really know, and they might be shown off in the Direct, I don't really know, and to be honest I don't really care either. But I put it there because Sans' haha funny skeleton meme. And that concludes the second row. On the third row, starting off is Genshin Impact. This was actually announced for a Switch version ages ago, and it's just never come to life yet. And I thought, you never know, it might come out today. It would be quite cool having Genshin on Switch. I wouldn't play it, I'd play on PC, but it would be cool to have another option to get people playing it. Next up is Splatoon 3, just more information basically, or a new gameplay trailer. It got announced in the February Direct, I believe. So it's been about 7 months since we've had any information on it. So I think now's a good time to just give us a little trailer, just something more, maybe show us some new weapons or something. I think that might happen, probably will. Hopefully it does because Splatoon is really good. And I'm really excited for Splatoon 3 to come out. Then we have the Free Space, which, who cares, it's pretty self-explanatory. And next up we have a new Fire Emblem game. This could be a remaster, or just a complete new entry in the series. I think it'd be really nice. Three Houses was an absolutely phenomenal game. Genuinely one of the best Switch games. So I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get another Fire Emblem game after the success of Three Houses. And let's be real, Fire Emblem deserves another game on the Switch because it's a great series. Then last on the third row we have Super Mario Party, or Super Mario Party Superstars, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, we're going to see more gameplay of this. They'll probably show off the last few boards and the last few characters, etc. I mean, this is just going to be a filler part of the Direct, but it's going to happen, so I put it on my card. And now we're on to the fourth row. And the fourth row is kicking off with the Game Boy Virtual Console. Now I know I put the N64 one in there earlier, but there was rumours of a Game Boy Virtual Console as well, and they could very easily put them both out at once. So I just thought I'd put them both down just in case they both come out. I'd obviously rather have N64, but Game Boy would still be cool, getting to play all the old Pokemon games, etc. All the old Mario games on it, the Wario games on it would be really cool. But I think if we had to go with just one, they'd go with the N64, and so they should. But you never know, they might surprise you with the double dip. Next up we have ARMS 2. I want ARMS 2 so badly. ARMS 1 is criminally underrated. And I mean criminally. It's so fun, it's such a unique concept. It's really good gameplay. The online is brilliant on it. I just think you could go even further with ARMS 2. Give it a campaign mode. Give it some maybe mission modes. I mean, you could do so much with the series. I think an ARMS 2 would be brilliant, especially given Min Min is now in Smash. They definitely have the attention on the series to bring out a sequel and have it do well. So hopefully, that's probably the one I most want. I would kill for an ARMS 2. Next up we have a Warriors game, similar to Fire Emblem Warriors and Age of Calamity. The only series I could really think of giving it to would be Xenoblade Warriors. I would love Xenoblade Warriors. It would be absolutely incredible having the cast of the 3 games together fighting some evil monster or something. There's absolutely no reason to believe this is happening. This is pure speculation on my part. But speculation I'd like to see nonetheless. Next up we have Mario Strikers. Obviously Nintendo recently acquired the studio that made the Mario Strikers games back in the day. So hopefully Nintendo realise they've got a great sports spin-off there and they acquired the company that made it. Surely they put one and one together and make Mario Strikers for the Switch. Because it would be so much fun. Just the chaos that you could put in the game with an online mode would be absolutely brilliant. I think it'd be so much fun. It'd be one of the most played games on the Switch, I think. And who doesn't love a bit of football, you know? So yeah, Mario Strikers would be amazing. And I think, again, it's like Donkey Kong Kirby. It will happen. It's just a case of when. And then last on the fourth row, we have a revival of a dead series. Now, I've used Captain Falcon because F-Zero has been getting a lot of talk recently by Nintendo and ex-staff at Nintendo, saying they want to bring this series back, they just don't know how. If they're wanting to bring the series back, they're going to bring it back. They'll find a way to make it work. This might be the game we get instead of Mario Kart, I don't know. But it's not just limited to F-Zero this one, it could also be something like Kid Icarus, Golden Sun, Rhythm Heaven, there's loads of games they could pick. But F-Zero would definitely leave the biggest impact if that was to come back, and I really hope it does because it gives Nintendo an alternative to Mario Kart. A bit more difficult game to Mario Kart, and I think having that variety will be great on the Switch because the Switch is in need of racing games because we are a bit stiff on them, and F-Zero I think would be the perfect game to fill in the slot and really get variety into the library. And on to the final row. This one's going to cause some controversy. I've gone for an announcement of Fighters Pass 3 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now I know Sakurai said the next DLC is the last DLC, but personally I look at Nintendo, I look at the money they'll get from Smash DLC. I don't see them ending it this early on in the Switch's life cycle. I don't necessarily think we'll get another pass, but I do think there'll be more fighters over coming months and years. But there is always a chance we'll get Fighters Pass 3. It's literally minuscule, like 0.001% chance, but it could happen, so I put it down because why not. Next up we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. There's been so much talk on the last few weeks of this. Medley, as voice actor, was asked about a new game and she said she can't comment too much but keep an eye out. One of this website went under maintenance recently. Apparently the story is going to be set in the future and it's going to feature returning characters. So that would mean people like Pyra and Mithra, Melia examples would come back because they would be able to live into the future. So, and that would be great, seeing both games cross over into one. Making a party mixed up of all the different characters from different games would be amazing. I think this could genuinely be the closing announcement for the Direct. Because Nintendo are going to make Xenoblade the main JRPG behind Pokemon at some point, I feel. Because they're so critically acclaimed. It's genuinely, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is regarded as one of the best games of all time, as it should be. And they've got so many characters and so much humour and so much enjoyment and so much... Even the combat's great in Xenoblade, and they really could push it to be one of the main series of Nintendo. And I love Xenoblade, so it's biased obviously, but they should do it. It would be great, and I really hope they do. Next up we have Amiibo. This is the boring pick. We're just going to see an Amiibo. Need I say more? Next up we have a new Mario and Luigi series game. Nintendo also acquired a studio that made Mario and Luigi games. So again, I think it's just a matter of when we get one of these. They could even port the old ones. That would be perfectly fine. People would be very happy. So yeah, maybe even just chuck it in Mario and Luigi port. You know, just something to give the fan base joy and happiness seeing the series they love so much back on Nintendo. And I think that's probably a safe bet for a new Mario game. Apart from the next one, which is my final slot on the card, and it's Odyssey 2. This is going to happen one day. I still think the fact they were making Odyssey DLC, but it never got any. It reminds me of the Galaxy DLC they planned, but then decided to scrap it and turn it into Galaxy 2. I imagine the same thing's happened with the Odyssey DLC, and it will become Odyssey 2. Odyssey is, in my opinion, the best Mario game ever made, so a sequel is very, very deserved and very overdue, in fact. It seems like Nintendo were repeating the 2017 year they had with all the games. Obviously we got a new Splatoon and a new Breath of the Wild coming out, and the other games there are ARMS and Mario Odyssey, and I think they're gonna get sequels if they want to follow that pattern, and it would make sense, and I can see it happening. Do I think we'll get Odyssey 2 today? No, because Odyssey 2 will be the closing one, and I already said I think the closing one today is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But if they end with Odyssey 2, I am not going to complain, because that game is very, very wanted by a lot of people, including myself. So hopefully we get it soon. And that wraps up my Nintendo bingo card for the September Direct. I can't wait for this Direct. I have a really, really good feeling in my stomach it's going to be a good one. Let's just touch wood and pray I don't jinx it. But, this could be class, man. It could be class. I'm going to try and record my reactions to it as I normally do. So hopefully that all goes well. And hopefully I'll be seeing you all in the reactions when I'm popping off, because we've got loads of good stuff in the Direct. So I shall see you all later today or tomorrow with my reactions.